Well, hello everyone.
Hello, Press.
Hey Lisa, how you doing today?
I didn't give you any warning on that one.
I had a feeling. I just
You
had a
had
feeling.
a so Prez, you came up with a nice topic for us for this week. Can you tell us what our topic of the week is, please?
Important things to know before investing. I believe that this topic is something that's not discussed very often, and some of the things that would key points that we're going to go over today have been said before, but it can't be said enough, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. So before we get started, let's give everybody a couple minutes to get in. It There are so many notable earnings coming up this week. I was making a
Mhm.
list, and the list is long. I just posted the earnings whisper calendar to my community wall, but
Mhm.
I'm going to run down a few so that I had listed here. Amazon, AMD, Apple, Meta, Google, Intel, PayPal, Eli Lilly, SoFi, McDonald's, Chipotle, Visa, Microsoft. I have more than that written there, of jam-packed earnings week this week. So if you're interested in that, take a look at the calendar. If there's something that you own off of that list and you want to be able to keep on top of it, be aware, we have to keep up with our investments. Also, on Friday of this week, I believe the updated unemployment numbers will be coming out. So, just a few things to keep an eye on. All right, Press. So, do you want to get started with our first topic of the day, or do you have any other opening remarks for us?
I think you pretty much took all of the words out of my mouth. It's a big, huge earnings week. It's pretty much like a make or break week, as far as what I'm saying in the charts. We've run up pretty high this bull market, and it has to come to an end eventually. So, based off of these earnings, this is like a make or break week for a lot of these companies. If they all start reporting bad earnings like a domino effect, expect a nice market pullback.
All right, all right. So this is for Fast Eddie. He just
That is
shared that he
awesome.
opened his first brokerage account. That
That is
is
awesome.
awesome. So you have to get us updated on some of those initial investments that you get started with, Eddie, okay? All right. So what is our first topic of the day, Press?
Create a safety net.
Okay.
I say this because the last thing I want for a person that's just starting out, and as soon as they start seeing profit or unrealized loss for that matter, they have to tap into their investments like you just started. Like, I don't want you to have to be starting over. So it's always good to, and this is something I wish I would have done when I first started out, create a safety net so that you won't never have to tap into those investments prematurely. You could be missing out on a lot of compound interest because it does take time to build that portfolio out and your investments out. And it's best to just leave it alone, especially in the beginning.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on this. And you know, what being like taking it to a low level, if you're waiting for payday, if you're really paycheck to paycheck, um, just whatever stage you're at in it, m- take even the smallest amount, whatever you can put aside, and just start to build so that you can put those days behind you. Strive to get one, if you are like waiting for payday, strive to get one paycheck in a savings account, a high yield savings account. Set reasonable, attainable goals for yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself saying I have to have 1,000, 2,000, 3 months emergency fund. Just take it day by day and just, one step at a time, and work on just making progress. I know I've definitely
Something
Go ahead.
Something that I'm personally doing, and for those who don't know, I just started a brand new job, and I'm pretty much starting my life over from ground zero. So with something that I did coming in the door, I allocated 10% of my take home pay to a special high yield savings account, so that way I won't even look at it. I don't even have a debit card for that particular. I will have to transfer it, and I only get so many amount of transfers per month, so I know not to touch it. So that way I won't never have to worry about having enough money to save. I don't even miss it. After my 401k deduction and my health insurance deductions and all of that, what's left over, my take home pay, 10% of that goes into that particular savings account. And then I'll invest before I even do anything else out of what's left over.
Automation. Yes, we have definitely talked about that before. Whether you just know yourself and you know that you don't want to take
Hmm.
on that responsibility, or just to keep it extra simple, um, it is a great way to make sure that you stay on track by allocating your investments, savings, so that everything is automatic and you can't get off track. As long as you get paid and the money that funds the account is there, then you can't let yourself get off track.
Hmm.
And most likely, once you have things automated and you set that amount, you're most likely, in my opinion, not going to be going in there and tweaking with it and changing it in order to adjust it to take the money and do other things with it. Whereas if you keep the money and then have to be responsible for, oh, let me transfer this for savings, let me do my investing, um, you might on certain weeks want to go with the entertainment choice instead of concentrating on your savings and investing. But if it's there already, then it's out of your hands and you get a gold star for doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything else on this first topic of creating a safety net, Press?
On top of all of that, you never know. You never know when life is going to happen. You just want to be prepared for the unexpected at all times. If you stay ready, you won't have to get ready. You understand what I'm saying? And that's something I see a lot of people not doing because of their situation. I know, like, we broke people. We got a lot of people that look like us that are struggling out here to make ends meet, and they all living paycheck to paycheck. But you have to make that. You have to find a way to make that sacrifice. Otherwise, you're gonna just stay on that hamster wheel for years on years. And I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for anybody that's watching me.
Most definitely. Um, so let's take a look. Fast Eddie is sharing some of his initial investments into his new account. So what do we have here? SCHD, Apple, is that Verizon?
Yes.
Starbucks? Realty
Mm-hmm.
Income? I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
LTC is. In Berkshire? What is LTC? Do you know? I would have to look that
Uh,
one up. But it looks like, he's mixing it up. He's trying to.
LTC Properties.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's a REIT or I'm not sure what exactly it is. I haven't looked into it. I just typed up the ticker symbol.
That is a pretty interesting mix for someone just getting started.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing your thing over there. Let's see. Thank you, David, Cruz Valero,
Welcome in,
and
Cruz.
everyone who is tuning in. Make sure to give us a thumbs up as you come in. If you're on a phone, please take a second, close that chat, and go give us a thumbs back and come back and chat with us.
You can actually
And-
double tap the screen. It's really that easy when we're on the
oh,
vertical.
we're on
Bip, bip.
vertical. Thank you, Chris. So, does anybody have any tips they want to share on how they've been building up your emergency fund and really staying on track with your goals? That was our first topic that we were just chatting about. But yeah, feel free to share that in the comments. And now on to number two. Prez, what is our point number two for
Your
discussion?
spending habits, control them. Control them, control them. Beware of the name brands. These companies are already multi-billionaires, and there's nothing wrong with a Walmart belt versus a Gucci belt. There's nothing wrong with. I'm actually wearing a Walmart belt currently. Um, I have a personal rule of like luxury items, like consumer items, like the jackets you see me on Ralph Lauren. I make sure that I at least own a piece of the company before I decide to go and purchase the product. You understand what I'm saying? Like I love polo shirts, so before I buy a polo shirt, I need to own a share of Ralph Lauren. That then I can reward myself by going and pay a shirt because it's about the same price, if not more.
Yep, stack some investments before you're just focused on those superficial things. I have nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong with designer items. What I am against is putting yourself into debt for them
Hmm.
or spending an excessive amount when your investment account is nowhere near where it needs to be. I don't want my car value and the handbags and the jewelry and the designer sunglasses to be outweighing any investment portfolio that I have. So I'm okay with treating myself once in a
Hmm.
while within a reasonable amount of what my earnings are. But yeah, you should have to keep on top of where your money goes. And if it's going to those things, but yet you're saying you can't invest, I think that's a huge issue.
As
Um,
far as expensive purchases, I have a personal rule that I've been doing for quite a few years now. If I can't afford to pay for it twice right then and there, I just simply won't buy it until I'm able to. That keeps me disciplined. Like, can I afford to buy two of these right now? If I can't afford to buy two of them right now, I can't afford to buy one.
all right. That was one of Jay-Z's bars and one of his I
Really?
can't think. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't. I honestly didn't know that. I didn't hear that anywhere. It's just something I just started doing once I realized that I was a victim of lifestyle creep. The more I got raises, the more I would go out and spend, the more I would eat
Mhm.
out, the more I would, end up buying a car that the maintenance I really can't afford is really a pinch keeping up with the maintenance on this particular car. And yeah,
Yes.
it's a life lessons. You can sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. But if I can share my experiences and try to prevent others from making those same mistakes as me, then so be it. I'm here.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Anything going on in the chat? Fast Eddie is sharing suggestion to build your investment with a index fund first before you branch out. Okay, he's just sharing some advice. Okay, so Eddie's saying he's been having a 401k, but I guess he's just starting a different brokerage account where he's going to do some separate investing, maybe for early retirement or other investment goals that he has. So that those were the different funds and different individual stocks, REITs, and different things that I was sharing. Um, so what's everybody's thoughts on this? What's something that you spend on now that you could cut out of your budget for the sake of focusing more on your investing?
Me?
I'm no, I'm asking the
Oh,
chat,
oh,
but if,
I
if
thought you
you
was
if you if
asking me.
you
I was
if
about to
you
say.
have an answer,
I think I'm good to go now. As far as me 5 years ago, my main habit was the vending machine at work.
and
Like I
cigarettes.
just Not even cigarettes per se,
No.
because I'm not an excessive smoker. Like I
Okay.
have that under control. I don't go out of my means unless I get really, really stressed out or angry or something like that. Then you'll see me chain smoking. But other than that, I really have that part under control. I don't excessively do it. I already understand that that's my habit, but that comes last. I'm willing to go without if I need to take care of my responsibilities.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry I threw that one in there because you disagree. But yeah, I think overall people's vices of maybe Um, even if it's I'm not saying coffee, but drinking liquor, smoking, those type of indulgences could be a money leak that,
Hmm.
um, but just basic eating out, not making your coffee at home. There are smaller things that can help you out. Using a lot of food delivery services and stuff like that. Is there anywhere
Rack
in
up
your
them
budget?
reward points. I said this. I think I said this last week. Rack them reward points up. They come in handy. They
Mhm.
definitely come in handy.
Yep, Fast Eddie saying, yeah, eating out. That's one of his money leaks over there. And retiring early. That is the reason for the new investment account. Um, so let's move on to point number 3, unless you have something else there, Prez.
No, consumer debt eliminated, especially if it's credit card debt, student loan debt. Like it'll have you swamped. Like even if you have to acquire other streams of income, a part-time job, a side hustle, something, get rid of it as fast as you can because time is not on your side and it's not going to wait for you.
No, it is not. And um, right now, the only debt that I have is basically my mortgage debt. I don't have
Mhm.
any of that consumer debt. Some medical bills, but it's interest free, and I've made arrangements on it and stuff like that. But um, it's funny, uh, unexpectedly to all of us when we were dealing with, C19 and having to stay home and couldn't do anything.
Mhm.
Uh, that's what really helped me to eliminate what debt that I did have left because of the circumstances. My daughter and I, we did not leave the house. Other family members did have to, continue working outside of the home, but I was working 100% remotely. Schools were closed. I would only go to the closest supermarket to my home, and when I went, I would shop heavily as there was limitations. I would try to buy as much as I could, basically, because
Mhm.
I didn't want to go back to the store because I was, afraid and just didn't want to deal with anything. But I'm just painting the picture because those circumstances led to me being able to go like months without having to put gas in my car. Um, and there was no eating out, there was no going to the movies, there was no reason to buy a new outfit, there was nothing. There was nothing going on. So with that, there was no eating out at lunch, there was no let me just grab this Chipotle. It was just home, home, home. And I think that stretch of time uh helped me to just save money.
Mhm.
And then I could pay off the bills because I wasn't focused. I was a little uh, reserved and nervous about losing my job, so I wasn't investing heavily, but it gave me at least the mindset of saving and getting rid of any credit card debt that I had years ago.
Mhm.
So that led to it. Just something that a side effect of our circumstances. So 755, thank you for sharing us out and for tuning in today. Appreciate that. So, are we ready for our next point, Prez?
Yes.
And let me just give a little recap. For those of you who got in a little late, we are going over some essential steps that you need to take before you can really focus on your investing. And so far, we've been talking about creating a safety net, controlling your spending, and eliminating that high interest consumer debt that you will be battling those interest rates while you have hopes of investing and reaping the rewards of your investments. And it's just not a good place to be in.
Exactly. I totally agree. Number 4, recognize, understand, and control your risk. I say this because a lot of people got into the market hearing about AMC, GameStop, and companies like that, trash companies. And I heard so many horror stories about people putting their life savings into trashy companies like this, and they're down significantly 60, 70, 80%, and they're reaching out to certain influencers asking them for advice, and it's really not much a person can tell you to do after that, except for cut your losses and move on, take it as a lesson learned. And the last thing I want, I'll say this again, the last thing I want to see is someone getting into the market. They're new to hearing about hype and speculation, and they're putting their life savings, their hard earned money into something like this and losing it.
Yes, we've talked about this. We've been talking about this. We can't panic sell. The market it goes up, it goes down. We have to put in the work before adding things to our portfolio so that we're putting sound investments worthy of being an investment into our portfolio. We need to put the work in to understand, is this a trade or is this an investment? Is this something that we have to have a stop loss on because or is this something we're truly going to hold on for years to come?
Hmm.
And with that, hopefully you eliminate some of the mistakes that you can run into where you're stuck holding something that is significantly down in the dumps and may never come back or may take years to come back when you could have put that money into a more
ETF.
established an ETF or an established individual stock, not an AMC or a Charge Point or a GameStop. Why not a Microsoft or an Apple or Nvidia or um,
Hmm.
so even right now, I mentioned that McDonald's is going to be having their earnings. McDonald's is having some issues with people. There's a E. coli
Yes.
and so I
They
mean
took the Big Mac off the menu.
even with that, the stock price has dipped. I'm not sure by what percentage. I don't have it pulled up right now. But in no time, that
It'll be right
$15,
back.
it's gonna it'll be right back up there. So you if you choose those type of companies, then you'll be able to, stomach the dip and know that it's going to recover. But when you invest into some meme stocks or something speculative, like we've been mentioning a few names here, then you don't most likely don't have that opportunity
Hmm.
of just saying, oh, I can just it'll bounce back quickly. May not happen. So hello, Alana and Lucy and Shannon, everyone that has just tuned in.
My problem is I'm afraid to take a risk. Ooh, life is about taking risk. Like everything you do is a risk. If you take no risk, you don't expect any reward. Like you have to understand what the risk is and control it, recognize it, understand it, and control it. Like if you, for example, you see a speculative investment go up 50% in a day, just understand that this can fall 50% or more the very next day. Just as fast as it ran up, it can fall just as fast. So once you understand things like that and you understand what it is you're actually investing into, then you can ask yourself questions like, what would I do if this was to fall 20% year to date or something like that? Would I still hold on to it? Would I be comfortable with it? Would I buy more or would I panic sell?
So 755 is saying she's afraid of risk.
Mhm.
Overall, and I'm not speaking for all women or all of anybody, but because there's different personality types in every group and every race,
Mhm.
and we're not all the same. But women, I want to see women be more confident in their investing because overall, I think women are a bit more conservative and think things through more than men.
Yes.
Um, So, when you pair that with investing, what Russ?
Because I'm a guy and I just totally agree with you. Because from what I've seen, from whether it be content creators or just people in the general investing and trading community, I see more successful women investors and traders than I do men. It's
Yes.
just we're impulsive and women think things through more.
Okay. So that this is oh, thank you for saying that, Prez. Um, And like I said, I'm not speaking for 100% of women, but I
Mm,
want women that are watching right now to know that when you if you are that type of personality type that thinks things through, that plans, that has a good money mindset, we as women we have to handle a lot of responsibilities because we most likely in many households are involved with the bills and figuring out the daycare and the shopping and a lot of expenses we have input in and we know how to manage money. So just take all think about what you've been able to accomplish in different areas and know that you can apply that same skill set to investing and you can be a successful investor. And I think
mhm,
that women can be good investors and need to take on that role, especially in households where maybe the man of the house or your partner, whoever, is more focused on just working. Somebody in the household has to be interested in the finances on a when it comes to investing and making sure you're maximizing your savings. So if that's a hat that you can take on, don't think that it's not your job. It has to be somebody's job. So take it on and be able to guide your children or invest for your children also because there's no one else. If there's no one else that's taking on that role, then we have
mhm.
to wear all the hats. As a parent, we're called upon to be a coach, a nurse, a seamstress, whatever my kids need help with, whatever my family needs help with, we have to do it. I was looking at my daughter's coat and her button was loose, and she's like, "Oh, I have to take this over to grandma's house and have her reinforce these buttons before I lose one." And we have to be able to lean on each other for those little things, but we need to lean on each other for guidance and encouragement when it comes to finance because that's what's really going to make our future brighter. And that's what I'm striving for over here is some financial independence. So Alana is saying that her children watch her trade and they're learning at 6 and 7 years old to read the charts. That is
Wow.
awesome. That
My
is,
son is 9 and he knows it.
yes.
That is awesome.
And one more thing I just want to touch on is, take your age into account in what your investing strategy is. When you're younger, you can be a little more aggressive, but as you're getting closer to retirement, make sure that you're putting in the work to make sure you're in line with what your needs are going to be because retirement is right around the corner for you. I wouldn't want to
Mhm,
be retiring in the 2007, 8, 9 range, with that hard economic downturn that we were in. You have to be prepared and know what your outlook is on when you're going to need to tap into the investments. But
mhm,
even with that, there is a way to have a conservative growing portfolio and not have to be overly concerned with this is risky. I'm going to lose my money. There are investments that are steadily growing, and I don't want anyone to think that investing is not for them. That is my message over here is that investing is for everyone. But okay, let me stop talking because I've been rambling on, Press.
It's for everyone, but it's not a one size fit all shoe. Like everyone has different risk tolerances, we're all in different age groups. We all have different financial backgrounds, financial situations. Like it's not a one size fit all shoe. You have to determine what is best for you. Like, for example, I just recently met a coworker and he's a lot younger than I am. I'm actually old enough to be his dad, but he was explaining to me that he believes in crypto more than he believes in these individual companies. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. And he's telling me he's been doing pretty good with his investments. He's more of a buy and hold type of crypto investor versus a trader.
Mhm.
And he has some really good investments. And he's showing me his crypto portfolio. He's doing pretty well. He's up pretty significantly throughout the years. But being as though he's a lot younger. Me, I don't have the risk tolerance or the stomach for it. I'm not going to be buying all of these other altcoins and believing in them, and I don't have no clue as to what they do. I don't care how high they can potentially go. If I don't understand it, I'm not going to invest into it. I'm in my 40s. I want to retire soon.
Okay, that's exactly what I was going to ask you about as far as risk tolerance. I was going to bring up
Hmm.
crypto. So, what are your thoughts on investing into the biggest crypto, the most mainstream, into Bitcoin?
Me, as far as me, I personally believe in it, but it's at a very small allocation compared to stocks that I own. If I'm explaining that right. So
Hmm.
if I'm 90% into stocks, then I will be 10% into Bitcoin.
Okay, okay. Uh, do you happen to know what your average price or what how much you're up on your Bitcoin?
My average price on Bitcoin is about 46,000. And this is someone who bought it at the top of the previous cycle and continued to buy it all the way down to it was at 15,000 and I was still buying it. Like I can't wait for you to come back. I'm gonna have a nice amount accumulated. But it didn't stay down there long.
No.
On top of that, I could have like doubled down, but I didn't want to over allocate myself into Bitcoin. It would have threw everything off balance. Like, yeah, I would have been significantly up more than what I am now because I would have had more accumulated, but I just don't have the stomach to see a large position of crypto go down, and I don't have the stocks to keep it up, to back it up.
Okay, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, everyone watching, where would you say your risk tolerance is? 10 being, y- you are very risk averse, where do you
Mm,
think you're at, Press?
I'm probably about a 7.
Okay.
If 10 is the most risky, I'm probably about a no, maybe about a 4. If 10 is the most risky, I'm about at a 4.
Yeah, I put myself down there around around the 4 with you, Press. So, um, Fortola is saying they're swing trading some crypto or crypto miners here. What do we have? Solana
ETF is
ETF
coming
coming.
soon,
Yeah.
rumor. Yeah, I believe so. It's only a matter of time. And I just recently started holding Solana long term, but I have a very little bit, maybe about 20 bucks worth, if that. Last time I looked, it was about 20 bucks worth.
Okay. Now, Fast Eddie was all the way at the other end of the spectrum. He said he was a 9, but he's bringing himself down to the middle now. And 755 is rating themselves a 1. So they don't want to lose not a dollar. They don't want to deal with the dip. But
Alana says she's at a 5 now.
why? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably in the middle. But definitely a balance because I'm not gonna have too much of the risky, speculative things, and if I do, they're gonna be managed and watched very
Hmm.
closely, so that's what matters, but thank you guys for tuning in and engaging and answering the questions and participating today. I appreciate y'all. Um, so now we're on to our last point of the day, Press.
Think for yourself. Question everything. Do not blindly follow others. Don't blindly follow me. Don't blindly follow Lisa J. Don't blindly follow any of these influencers you see on social media. Take the time, research these things for yourself, and determine your own risk tolerance. Like, yeah, it's fun to make a quick buck, but at what cost? Like, do you know what you're doing? Take that time to learn what you're doing before you participate in all of these extracurricular degenerate activities you see on social media.
There's a new series that just came on Netflix, a new Tyler Perry series. I'm sure people are binge watching this weekend.
Nope, not me.
I know, not you. But yes, um, I think when I read this point, what came to my mind was fear of missing out.
Hmm.
Don't think you have to jump on every bandwagon and just every your risk tolerance is not that of the next person. Your age, your budget, nothing is. You have to make sure that you're making a plan tailored to yourself specifically. So with that, um, you have to know, am I gonna invest into some random meme coin? Can I manage navigating a trade in that random meme
Mm-hmm.
coin, or should I just stick to a basic uh index fund or ETF that gives exposure to the Fortune 500 companies?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want easy? Do you want hard? Do you want responsibility? Do you want risk? So there is something out there for everyone. And like I said, I think depending on the money mindset that you bring to building your portfolio, you can have success and be conservative, and that's okay. Now, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying you're going to have a huge profits and growth overnight, but it's not about that. You have to know who you are and what your long-term goals are.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to mix some of those tradings and options and different things in there, that's a short-term goal. That's a short-term profit, but build upon the long term because that's what truly matters in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Once you
So,
learn how to take those high risks and you understand them and you keep your losses to a minimum, it could be a great booster for your long-term investments, but you got to take that time and learn. You got to take that time. It's no way around it. It's no magic pill. It's no magic course. You really got to take that time yourself and learn, even if it's cutting out some of that entertainment and educate yourself a lot more. You got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting for somebody to hand you something, a quick way to make some money or something like that. Nobody is going to come save you. You have to quarterback this offense. And it's
and
okay to have an innovative type of mindset when it comes to your investing strategy. Just understand what it is you're getting into before you get into it and determine how much you're willing to lose.
so has anyone out there made any investments that they regret? Or have you do you have any regrets about not investing enough? I know for sure I have that regret. There's so many times I've thought to myself, I wish I would have invested more. I can't think of a time of any overall. I think I have those thoughts more, a whole lot more than I wish I didn't invest into. I wish I would have invested less into particular companies. Yes. Overall, so many other things. I wish I would have invested more, and I wish I would have invested more heavily. So, just sharing that because I think that more people would be on that have that same scenario when you think about the big picture of your investment journey. So, with that, you can incorporate that, think about that, and make a plan going forward that doesn't leave you in that place over and over again of, "Oh, I should have invested more into that." So, Prez,
Hmm.
what do you think your journey has been? More so of, "I wish I would have invested more, I wish I would have invested earlier," than, I that wasn't a good investment."
I wish I would have done all five of these key points that I mentioned today
Mhm.
10, 20 years ago.
Okay.
That in a nutshell. And that was the inspiration for this title. Don't make a lot of the same mistakes that I did, and you'll end up being my age or older, playing your shoulda, coulda, woulda song. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for myself.
Okay. So, we have a comment from Shannon here saying that they getting in regret getting into crypto before stocks and ETFs. It was exciting, but I would have made more at that time. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. I think that's Prez's story too. You got into Bitcoin before your
Yeah.
ETF.
Dumb dumb. You live and you learn though. You live and you learn. I'm glad that I did it versus not doing it. at all, because I could have just been the average Joe, just working and paying my bills and taking care of my children and living paycheck to paycheck. And then what if everything that happened over the last 4 years happened without me investing it out at all? Then you understand what I'm saying? I would have never had anything to fall back on or nothing.
Yeah. So Alana is making a comment here about my biggest regret was not selling Sheeb at the top in 2021. They made 3,000, however, they were up over 10.
Ooh.
Um, so yeah, this is another thing that we have lived and we have learned and now we share. We have to have a plan. We have to use the stop loss and don't be
Mhm,
greedy. Don't be greedy and take those gains. And I made the same mistake with Sheep,
mhm,
where the gains on certain investments, they were not investments, they were trades. On certain trades, I didn't have a trader's mindset. I had an
mhm,
investor mindset with my trades, and I should have cut them and let them go and had a plan and a price of the gain of where I was going to let it go. I had the stop loss set and just let it be out of my hands. But
mhm.
I wasn't years ago making the full plan when I got into things. So it won't happen again for Alana or me going forward, I'm guessing,
Nope.
or
I will
Press.
not be the one. I will not be extra liquidity ever again.
Okay. So we covered our points. Um, what else are we talking about today?
I think that's about it. We covered all of our points. I don't mind sharing my journey because I know there's someone out there that needs to hear it.
Mhm.
That's probably in a similar situation or has been through what I've been through, and it's always light at the end of the tunnel. As long as you be resilient and get through it. Like we're warriors. We have warrior spirits. So you don't just give up at the end of the day. Never give up. Never let a naysayer deter you from your journey. Um, because they're gonna be some, especially once you start seeing those small results at the beginning of your journey and you're sharing your results with people that you know personally and things like that. Because it's gonna be exciting once you invest for a certain period of time and you finally see some 20% gain or 10% gain. Like I know this is only $100, but it done accrued me 20. Like what savings account is going to do that? Hardly any, none.
Yes, we have to look at the big picture and uh, find that balance. Aggressive, not too aggressive, but reaping the rewards of what investing can do versus using that local bank. I stay away from there because you're not going to gain anything. So let's take a look at the chat. I don't know what's going on. Last comment I see here is Fast Eddie saying, "I never, I never what." I think we need to jump back a little bit. Hi, Miss Frugal. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Frugal, aka Karen. Any questions or comments you want to highlight?
I'm looking. If I got
Alana is
back in,
saying yes. What I said, she agrees. It's never happening to us
mm-mm.
again. We know how to do it now. We've learned and grown.
The market is pretty much ran off of two key factors: fear and greed. Once you understand your fear tolerance and your greed tolerance and you have them two under control, the sky is pretty much the limit. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's not. You have to have that patience. It's like tending to a garden. If you don't tend to it, it's not going to grow overnight. It's just not.
I hear you. I hear you. All right. So, guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat and let us know if you enjoyed today's topic. we're always working here to continue to empower ourselves to build a stable future for ourselves and for our families. And even if our budget is tight, even if we're on a fixed income, whatever is going on, you can still put in the time to build your knowledge, teach your family, give guidance, because that's what really matters. And it's not gonna happen overnight. Don't think that don't I want
Mhm.
everyone to just be focused, and I have to show my daughter, she's been seeing her portfolio grow steadily. And even her, I want her to know you're not just gonna put the money in and it just jumps up 20-30%. But when you the choices that we've made together and built upon, she's seeing the growth over time. And I hope that it's giving her the picture that she can take into adulthood and continue on the same path that we've been working on, and have an understanding when it comes to when she gets her first job and she has to choose her retirement plan. I'm trying to work with her now so that she can move forward and know how to handle all these different things on her own. Thanks, Rod, for tuning in. Hope you're feeling better.
Hit the take profit and get out there. Yeah, definitely. Definitely got to take that profit. Don't ever be afraid to take profit. Even if you feel like after the fact it was too soon, profit is profit.
Whose comment are you looking at?
The Buffer International.
Okay, I didn't see that. Oh, okay. All right. So, Press, do you think this was a good topic to cover today?
I believe so. Y'all
Even
better had to like this topic. It took me a whole week to come. No, I'm just messing with y'all.
So, yeah, I think it was good too. It's something that, like you said, we always need to continue to reflect on these different things. and
Hmm.
and that's a good way to start off the week. So as we move to the end of the year, if we as we start a new year, wherever we're at, just keep on thinking about these things and continuing to improve on what your plan is. And just I swear that it's good to surround yourself with an atmosphere that's going to keep you growing and gaining knowledge in all of these different areas. So thank you, Alana, for that compliment. um I actually need to probably I think my daughter's gonna be out of school early enough tomorrow. I'm gonna make her do her investments. $50. Her $50 for the month is gonna get invested, but, I need her to do it herself 'cause I like her to be a little more hands-on, and I don't want her to forget how to do her things and take a look at her portfolio. So, let's see.
Yes, Fast Eddie, I will be live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
You will?
Yeah.
Press okay. Thank you for
Tomorrow's the 28th. I did say last week I will be back on the 28th.
okay.
So I believe that my picture can now be removed from off of that milk carton.
Prez, I did try, guys. I tried to give Prez a little encouragement. I said, Prez, let's not let your channel be dark all week, Prez. We want to see something. But you've been busy and I totally understand. Oh, Rod. So Rod, guys, everybody, if you could throw some yellow hearts in the chat for Rod. He has been in the hospital for some time now, and we are wishing a speedy recovery for him, and I hope
Hmm.
he gets back home soon. When I saw he was on Instagram in a little bit and in our chat today, I was hoping that he was at least out of the hospital, but I hope that day is coming very soon for you, Rod. Um, Portola is trying to double her portfolio by, I think, the end of the year. I lost the comment, but I see someone down here saying, "Yeah, do it. Double it." Thank you guys. Well wishes to Rod. Investing with Rod. If you haven't seen his channel, so one of the last lives I tuned in over at Rod's channel, he was going to be starting a portfolio that's going to be his next car. So he's
Hmm.
basically going to invest and then let those investments go at some point down the road, and he's going to use that for his down payment on his next car. So I'm looking forward to seeing that series of videos as he works on that portfolio. I've said that I don't know what my $10 a day into VTI, what in the future it may be, but I'll tell you, the car that I'm driving right now, I have no problems with it, but it's up to I'm at about 110,000 miles. So, my
Hmm.
$10 a day, I'm just going to keep going with it, and maybe one day it'll be uh, that down payment towards the next car once I have to let this one go.
I'm actually starting a new one tomorrow. I'm going to be using it for members only content. It's going to be like spare change that I haven't used throughout the week. I'll just go ahead and throw it into that particular account. So it's not a set amount, but it is going to be consistently added to. And I'm going to see, just see how far it goes. I'm going to keep the positions small. It's not going to be many positions in there, just to show you don't need a whole lot of different positions.
Okay, okay. Thank you for tuning in, Sledge. I'm going to be on Sledge's show on November 1st. So I will make sure to share that so you guys can tune in. 20 questions with Sledge. I'm looking forward to that.
Miss Freagle says she loves her old car. I miss my car. I miss my car had a name Susie. I miss Susie. Maybe I'll share a picture of it tomorrow morning on my live stream.
Your old
Before and
car?
after. Before and after.
Oh my. Don't traumatize yourself now, press. That
I'm
sounds
starting
like
to deal with it a lot more simply because of why. You know who. But
yes.
yeah, I deal with it a lot more, and I joke about I joke myself. I make fun of my own self to help me deal with it. Like, yeah. I'd rather lose all of my teeth than to lose my life any day.
Mhm. Yes, of course. Of course. Thankfully, it wasn't something like a limb, like it could have been
Yeah.
when going through what you've been through, that it
Mhm.
could have been worse. So, all right. Well, I think I'm ready to wrap it up for the day. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow morning, press. And tomorrow's Monday morning. Yes.
Mhm.
So today we went over the essential steps you need to take before investing. Lots of different things that we always like to continue to share with our audience of ways to stay on track, ways to have a better money mindset. So, Prez, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Miss Frugal is asking.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Regular time, regularly back to our regularly scheduled program, contrary to popular belief.
Okay. So, is it set up already? Can we go
I
hit that
haven't I
link
haven't
and
set it
get
up
out?
just yet, but I'll set it up like soon as I'm done here. I haven't set it up yet.
Okay. Yeah, get
I was
that set
debating
up.
that I want to make a whole brand new thumbnail or not, so that's the only hold up with that. But I normally set it up before I go to bed on Sunday night, so it'll be done.
All right then. Well, I'm ready to wrap it up. I'm gonna go get something to drink. I was in a little bit of a rush as usual. Maybe I need to set myself up with a couple of Gatorades or something underneath the table here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to be better prepared. But thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to drop us any questions if you are interested in joining channel membership. You can check out both of our pages for that. And if you are interested in opening up a new account, you can check out our referral links. I'm Lisa J. Stocks here with Prez the Investor. His channel will be tagged in the description. I'm going to drop it right now. And you should be able to find my details on his end. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to us both. And we will see you next week. Have a good rest of your day. Go enjoy some football and all that good stuff. And the beautiful fall weather before it starts to get cold. I don't really consider fall weather beautiful, but I'm more of a summertime person. But
I'm about to go
it
have
is
me a steak.
it is what it is.
I'm about to go have me a steak.
Well, you enjoy that, Prez. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see you, like I said, tomorrow morning. Bye, guys.